bull ring, too, has its moments of extreme suspense when the blood runs cold at the sight of injury and death. New non-skid tires are tried out in Paris, but fate laughs at the inventor. The tires skid, and a woman is hurled to her death. Here's an actual head-on crash, and another sight for auto drivers. The newsreel cameraman is on the job when the world goes mad. A munitions plant on fire. All hell breaks loose. Thrills of real life caught by the camera. Here's a dangerous, startling test of bulletproof glass. Or take this heavy bridge section being put into place in France. No man could foretell the fatal strain that caused its tragic collapse. There are thrills galore on the tracks, whether speed or fame is at stake. No stunt is too risky, no feat too hard for demons of the motorbike. Hill climbing contests, where daredevils write their own ticket and ride them upside down. Then the lure of the speed events, where men of steel pit flesh and blood against fate in a dizzy whirl. Even the bicycle can produce its thrill, its big moment in slow motion. Watch this nervy stuntster. A new auto bumper is tested, and even in slow motion, the resulting spill is startling. The bumper may be easy on the radiator and save the car, but it's a bit rough on the driver. Now for a new thrill, a self-flying airplane, a plane that feels its own way along the air lanes. The pilot can get right out and stand on the running board if he wants to. But how'd you like to be the cameraman now, with nothing between him and a nosedive but a robot at the stick? It's uncanny, but it's ticklish business too, as if riding in a plane were not thrill enough for most people. There are other air thrills too, gripping moments of destiny, as when observation balloon goes up in an inferno of fire and smoke. A new stunt for the crowd's applause, a tricky glider pickup, a ghastly moment of suspense, and then disaster. Now a new glider is tried out, a glider made of rubber, a plaything perhaps, but a man's life is at stake. Man may soar, but it's over the broken bones of such intrepid pioneers as this one. De Pinedo, brave Italian birdman, hops off, and the newsreel here to film the daring New York to Rome attempt. And this time the camera catches the most sensational airplane crack-up of all time. Startling pictures of De Pinedo's funeral pyre and the heroic flyer's terrible death right before your eyes. Again, valiant birdmen dare the long ocean flight. Portuguese aces this time in a hopeful air dash for the old world. And again, disaster before the camera's eye, but without the horror of fire. No man can foresee what fate has in store, Atlantic City, and an air stunt or two to thrill the holiday crowd. A parachute jump into the ocean to make the Sunday visitors gasp. That certainly wasn't on the program. Thrills in the air, thrills with the service birdmen. The camera goes aloft with the Army bombers. A Navy torpedo plane, the fleet's newest engine of warfare from the air, the terror of the skies. There's the target, and here we go to shoot the works. Armies of men leaping into space. Was there ever such a sight? Russian youths getting the thrill of thrills as a part of their training for war. An amazing picture of mass daring. It's the world's greatest test of individual nerve and courage. But no sensation equals the gripping drama of the air race, where men hurl themselves at new records and death. Warfare in city streets. The riot call brings excitement on the run, gas and gunfire and all the woe of battle. Labor conflicts turning peaceful American scenes into amazing spots of turmoil. San Francisco, the dock riots, where men saw red and hunger threaten the city, where only bullets quelled the determined mob. And in the Midwest, where pitched battles were fought. The camera must turn, though, whatever the odds. When you see a sight like this, with missiles flying and injury on every hand, remember that the cameraman had to stand up and take it, heedless of his own safety. Minneapolis, and a strike demonstration that ended in one of the most vicious street battles in American industrial strife. These films were used to identify and convict. Police pummeled into unconsciousness. Scenes of terror and of strife enacted before the eye of the newsreel camera. Rioting in Brooklyn with men and women in a shouting, howling, fighting mass against law and order. But the thrills of the Speedway topped them all. The Ascot races, where demons of the wheel defied death at every turn in a sensational, breathtaking whirl of man and metal. Human drama at its height, right before your eyes. But the race must go on. The stock car road race has its thrills, too. And the king of motor speed contests, the great 500-mile race at the Indianapolis Speedway, where there's a thrill a minute and where disaster lurks at every turn. Look, a sensational plunge. never seen by man. Adventure, excitement, thrills. The newsreel man looks death in the eye 1,000 thrills. The newsreel man looks death in the eye 1,000 different ways.